Hello everyone and welcome to my Starseed Origins reading. I am Hannah from Spiritual Tarot and I decided to do this mini series for the different Starseed groups as a way to gain more insight into the origins of our souls from the different groups, as well as what our mission is while on Earth. So I focused on the Pleiadians, the Andromedans, Arcturus, Orion, and Lyrans. So if you resonate with any of these starseed groups, please continue watching these videos. Hopefully you'll gain some insight into who you are and what your mission is while you're here on Earth. And just kind of some advice as far as self-care and how you can work with your energy as a starseed. So please, I hope you enjoy this. Let me know how you like this reading, and we are just going to dive right in. So enjoy. Okay. Okay, and our last group is Lyra. For those that you don't know, the Lyrans are the cat people and the lion people. And they have their ties to ancient Egypt. Let's see what we've got here. Ooh, okay. So I find it really interesting that a lot of the groups have had 8s, 7s, and 6s come up. To me, they're just, higher number cards, which just means that you guys have like higher life path numbers. 7 is the mystical number. 8 is all about, manifesting and growing and, being that kind of like wise teacher. So, and 9 is the number of completion. So another aspect that I didn't talk about, which you can definitely look into, is what your numerology kind of talks back to, because I feel like a lot of star seeds are older souls, and so their numerology is really interesting too, because you guys will see the same numbers crop up a lot. But yeah, okay. We have lots of purple and green energy going on here. So we have some third eye stuff. We have some heart chakra stuff. But I'm gonna say I'm feeling the third eye. I'm feeling like you guys are pretty psychic. As the Lyrans, like I said before, have connections to lions and cats and felines. It kind of goes without saying that you guys are very psychic. You're naturally sensitive people, and you have a connection to animals, a connection to energy, like sensing auras, sensing like whether or not something is benign or malignant. You guys just really have that keen sense. So let's just dive right in. I pulled 3 tarot cards to kind of find out who you were on Lyra, who your star family is and what they're like, and what you were like in a past life. So the moon came up for us, and the 8 of swords came up for us, and the 7 of pentacles. So to me, the first thing I'm going to say is that many of you guys that are psychic now, it is because you had past lives as seers, as prophets maybe, and just as, psychic, I want to say psychic stewards. I don't even know if that's a thing, but apparently it is. Like someone who was really tapped in and connected, but was also using it to kind of lead others, using your intuition to, and maybe foresight into the future to guide others, right? So the moon card is really all about seeing into the unknown, seeing into the darkness, illuminating things that other people may not see, and just kind of like living in that shadow. The 8 of Swords also, you can see that she is blindfolded and surrounded by swords. And the Seven of Pentacles is really all about the idea of waiting for your seeds to grow, waiting for the harvest, waiting for bounty to come to you. So there's this idea of sitting and reflecting and of waiting and, you know, being tested with your patience, being tested with your inner self, inner growing, inner knowledge. I really get the sense that in, you know, your past lives, you have been taught to wait and to listen. And, you know, cats, felines are the ultimate listeners. They, you know, will just sit for hours and just listen to the world around them. And if that's something that you've forgotten how to do, I think that your connection to Lyra is going to help you learn that, and help you kind of reteach yourself those skills that came naturally to you while you were incarnated on that star and in that constellation. So, yeah, I feel like you lived a life where you were just extremely tapped into the cosmos, to source, and to spirit. You were able to do things psychically that we can only imagine. You know, telepathy comes to mind, astral projection. I feel like some of you may have communicated with humans as Lyrans. So you kind of chose to be teachers or guides and, you know, interact with humans before you decided to incarnate here as a human. And all of it was just about, you know, creating knowledge and harmony and elevating the energy of the planet. You know, I think that you guys really have, you had in your past lives, and some of you still do have incredible, you know, foresight, and you have a sense of what is to come, what needs to be done, to kind of get everybody in a better place, you know, energetically speaking. So yeah, and I'm not seeing like a class system. I get more of a feminine energy, so I feel like this reading as a whole is probably more for females than males. I feel like the last two readings that I did had very masculine energy to them. And so, you know, there's just a lot of working with the divine feminine in this reading. So even if you are male, I think that you could have, you know, worked very closely or felt very connected to the divine feminine energy. And I hope that that's something that carried over to you in this life. I am like a little intrigued by the Eight of Swords here, you know, just because, you know, she evokes like this idea of like bondage or capture, but the message behind the card is always that she has the tools for escape right there. To me, it feels more about, I want to say indifference, but it's not. It's like not being worried about, you know, worldly kind of matters. To me, like in your past lives, some of you were just like so in tune with destiny and what was meant to happen that even if something bad did happen, it was kind of like you were just totally at peace with it and okay with it because, you know, what was meant to be will be. And I feel like that is how some people who are from Lyra are. Like they just have this incredible like inner peace and inner knowing that like whatever happens happens. You know, nothing is bad, nothing is good. It just is. And we just have to kind of wait and be and see, and you know, that's who they are. So I think that there's lessons to be learned with that. If you can't really like if you find it difficult to just be, if you find it difficult to accept realities, I think that your like guides or higher self who are Lyran could 100% help you kind of tune into that energy of like peace. Like it's very Buddha, you know, just kind of being okay and just letting go of the self, letting go of the ego, and surrendering. I think surrender is a huge word for you guys. Your energy just feels so different from the other few energies that I've read today. It just, because it's powerful, and you can tap into, and you can tap into like lion energy, you can tap into goddess energy, and kind of feel your way around, and watch a lion or a cat and understand how they are. But there's something about being powerful and choosing to not act, and allowing yourself to just kind of sit in sit and let the world speak to you, and that you can only do that with immense inner peace and inner knowing, because people who are not able to sit with themselves and be alone with themselves can just never accomplish a feat like that. They can't just sit with themselves, right? They can't be in silence because their mind is too loud. Okay, weird synchronicity. I just looked at my tea and it says, the more silence you have, the more the other can experience himself. Creepy. Okay, so that's a message from Spirit for you guys. Okay, so let's just keep on going. So yeah, so waiting, listening, sitting, tapping into lion energy. I think all of those things are super nourishing to you guys as Lyran souls. The crystal we have for you is Numite, and the word I have is healer. I'm actually not super familiar with Numite, and we've gotten a lot of black or dark stones today that as healers, which this stone has the word healer with it. It's really important to use those kind of very grounding, very centering dark stones, because they really help us connect back to the earth and help us kind of alleviate some of the toxins, I guess is like the best word. Alleviate the toxins that we are, transmuting when we are healing others. This stone is actually also referred to as the Sorcerer's Stone for all of our Harry Potter fans out there. And it's because this stone is actually supposed to aid with any magic work you are doing. It is supposed to be extremely protective, to help you kind of protect yourself from any negative energy that might be around, but it definitely helps with aiding manifestation, as well as, if you do practice witchcraft and magic, it can really help kind of open you up to increase your gifts. I do find it interesting that this card comes up for you, because I feel like you've been so psychic in past lives, and I feel like a lot of you guys are just natural born witches. I think every card kind of alludes to that in one way or another. But this Numite stone is something that I really think you guys should try to connect with, because it will help you on so many levels. The dark color helps you with grounding and protecting. Like I said, it helps you, kind of protect from negative energies. It also helps you do shadow work and kind of see yourself see your shadow self and work with it, and just transmitting positive energy out into the world while releasing negative energy. So Numite, that's a great healing stone for you guys. I feel like it's all purpose. You could really use it for anything, whether or not you're manifesting or whatever. And it'll also help you really with your psychic gifts. If you're reading tarot, if you are channeling, all of that stuff, Numite will assist you. Um, for the self-care card that we got for you guys, you can connect to your Lyran origins and to your guides through energy work. So this could be Reiki, this could be all different, healing modalities, or it could just be something as simple as grounding and meditating. This is something you can do anytime, all the time, but what it is really going to help you do is align your chakras, align your energy, and allow your upper chakras, your third eye especially, to open, and your crown to open. And you'll be able to start receiving messages from your guides if you haven't already. So I think you guys are kind of all over the place. Some of you may not identify as being intuitive or being psychic, and others, you guys might have been psychic, extremely psychic from an early age. No matter where you are, this energy work will help you so much. It will just help you kind of really tune into your gifts and be able to use them every day, and just really embrace them in a new way. So I highly encourage it. Even if you don't want to be psychic, whatever, like if you, let's say you should never be worried about becoming psychic, right? Because at the end of the day, you want to be your best self and you want to be in alignment. So if you are worried about, aligning your chakras and all of a sudden being like a medium or something, don't worry, it doesn't work like that. You can just take on what you want to take on, and if you tell your guides, I'm not ready to, channel spirit or anything, then just balance your chakras so that you can go through the world feeling inner peace. That's it. That's all you need. You just have to set your intention for what you want, and then it'll work for you. Moving on from that, I always pulled a card for the chakra that you should work with. And we actually have green, and that is for the heart chakra. And the word is perception. And see how she has purple robes on? Yeah. So I really feel as though your purpose in this life is to share your gifts, your psychic gifts, your intuitive gifts with others. And that radiates from the heart chakra. That is all about, coming and being at peace with who you are, and then sharing it outwards, sharing your healing energy with the world. I think some of you guys are going to be intuitive healers. Some of you guys may actually want to be acupuncturists or Reiki healers. I feel like a lot of people who have incarnated from Lyra, because you're naturally psychic and then you choose to incarnate on Earth, you come in with the mission to heal others, and that's from a physical standpoint, right? Maybe emotional, but I kind of get the sense that a lot of you guys are doctors, nurses. You care about the body and you're interested in it. You're interested in how energy works within the body. And I just kind of see you guys as being really great intuitive healers, because you can kind of just sense what might be wrong with the person who's having an ailment. I think some of you guys could be emotional healers, like let's say if you're a psychiatrist, or a therapist. This could be so many different things, but really the world of like healthcare and healing, I think a lot of you guys are drawn to it, and if you weren't in the traditional sense, I think you will be in the non-traditional sense, in alternative medicine. I'm seeing like herbalists, like I said, Reiki healers, even someone who maybe makes like soaps or healing things for the body so that you're not using like toxic chemicals. All of these kind of fuse into how I feel Lyran energy is present right now, because you guys are like makers and doers, and you have lived the lives where you have kind of been like the open channels and been psychic and been, you know, seers, and now you're incarnating on earth to truly like share this knowledge in a more tangible way, and that is through healing energy work, using your empathicness and your intuition to help others. So yeah, it's really interesting. You guys have a very, you know, I I can't even talk right now. There's something about how me tapping into your energy that I can't like speak, but okay. So to me, it just really feels like the difference with you guys and your soul purpose and your soul mission, is that you can make this into your career. Like what you as Lyran people, what you were incarnated to do is so big and so important that it's like who you identify with, if that makes sense. Like I wanted to be a doctor from the time I was a little girl, and you know, and that's what I want to do. I want to help people and I want to be a doctor. That is the energy that I'm kind of getting from you guys, is that whatever your soul purpose and mission is to do here, that is your main priority. Whereas with other groups, you know, their soul mission is maybe more of an internal thing, and they could be doing other jobs or have other aspects of their lives and still fulfill their soul mission. While with you guys, you came here with such vision and such intention, and with your third eye so open, that it's like your soul mission and your career and what you're doing with your life are always going to be one and the same. So for a lot of you, I do see it as being healers and just helping other people. You know, the Pleiadian readings, they're really about healing the earth. You guys are really about healing others, healing other people, helping, you know, in the day-to-day. And that takes a lot. That's beautiful, and I think everybody has their job, so I think that's really cool. But what we can see from the perception card is that you have an untapped resource. You are empathic. You can intuitively know what is like ailing people, either on an emotional standpoint or physical standpoint. And that's a gift that you can choose to use. You can do that by balancing your chakras, like I just said. You don't have to, you know, be walking around with your third eye and your heart chakra open all the time, but if you want to, you can. You have that ability to do it. It's really just about tapping into all of this power that you had when you were, you know, in past lives, that you've brought into this life. And, you know, finishing off, we have our animal spirit card. We have the oyster. I love this card because it just really talks about untapped potential, and it talks about, you know, having that pearl hidden in something that's so unassuming, you know, just like the ugly oyster shell. This is a water element card, so it tells me that you guys are, which we've seen all the way throughout, you're extremely tapped into the emotional world, extremely tapped into your intuition. But we know that from perception, we know that from healer, we know that from the moon. Like, you guys are intuitive AF. I think a lot of you may already be Reiki healers, may already be energy workers. I just, you know, and the ones that aren't, you guys, like, that is something that you can do. You could be crystal healers. There's so many things like that I think you guys would be so good at, and you're really blessed by that. But it's, you didn't just happen upon this. Like, your souls have been trained in these, in working with these energies, I feel, for a very, 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 very long time. Like, I'm talking, like I said, ancient Egypt, long time. So I just think that this stuff comes naturally to you because you've been doing it for so long. And if you don't feel like you know what I'm talking about, then it's just because you haven't opened this shell yet. You have a whole aspect of yourself that you haven't tapped into, but you all have this. And the intuition is really there. Your psychic abilities are so strong. You have incredible perception. I think you can easily look at people and know if they're hurting, know what's wrong with them. And that's a gift that you get from being from Lyra. You get that from the feline races. And I feel like it would be very easy for you to tap into their energy, ask them for help, ask them for guidance, ask them to teach you things. Your spirit guides will come forward. I think that they're very present for you. They're right over your shoulder, so it's very easy for you to tap into their wisdom and learn from them, if you ask, right? So that is what I've gotten for you guys. I really hope that you enjoyed this reading. And I am going to be doing lots more starseed videos, so please, come back and visit my channel because there's lots more coming. It's just a little more time. Okay. Let me see if I can just go like that. Yeah. Please.